Susan Parenti, and I'm sitting here with my friend Patch Adams, and our friend Derek Busby, and our friend Queen Victoria, who's a cat. Patch and I were talking about ways to connect the word healing and the word recovery. And this in particular in relation to his amputation and the remarks, the many, many remarks people are making about the way he's framing the amputation. And so I was wondering, Patch, to continue our conversation, if you thought that by kind of embracing or accepting the amputation, that this was already the beginning of healing.
Oh, absolutely, Susan. I think we saw in the podcast that Derek made right after the amputation, where I was gleefully showing people my stump and thrilled. And the truth is, it was an extremely positive step. It wasn't, oh, bummer, the amputation. It was, these 3 operations destroyed my left foot, and there's a solution called an amputation. So this is a celebration of getting ready for a new foot. And wow, I love that. And apparently I was told it had over 90,000 hits. And so I think other people loved it. And then I get this in the mail from a teacher we know in Mexico. Saltillo, Mexico, Freiheit High School, of over 80 pages of letters. And the thing that they talk about the most in these letters are how much they were impressed by my celebration of the amputation.
What they call it positive, how positive you were.
How positive that I was, and I love it, and it's really been our healing technique that first you're alive, and then what can you do with the rest of it, the rest of your life. And I'm so pleased. I mean, look, how much fun can you have with a shark on your foot and enjoy it? I love that shark there.
Right.
So now, what I want to tell you is that we are building a hospital of celebration that will embody 6 qualities: happy, funny, loving, cooperative, creative, and thoughtful. And that it will not be a doom and gloom hospital. I mean, I'd like to think, even if I only had 3 days to live, a mayfly gets 12 hours. So that's 6 times the mayfly stash of days. And why not make it fun? Because life is fun until the end. And then we make up fun for after.
Okay, thank you. I guess I still want to hover a little bit about recovery, healing, which are positive words. People always think, oh, are they getting better? Get better. You never see a card saying, get worse. It says, get better. To what degree healing and recovery could be thought of as something that you could do even if all the diagnoses are showing there cannot be any further healing. There cannot be recovery. You're going to die soon. How do you take this attitude of positive to somebody who gets a very bad stage 4 cancer diagnosis? What could they possibly be recovering there?
Well, I would say they don't have to recover. They're still alive. And they if they were fun people before the diagnosis, how are they different after the diagnosis? Same person. It can be 3 minutes later that they get the gloom diagnosis. And I personally think that they can be thankful for what they have. That
Okay, because I guess when the question I was asking myself before we had this conversation is every part of health, good health, bad health, can there be an aspect of recovery, of healing? Can you know that you have a stage 4 diagnosis and still think there could be recovery in this, there could be healing in this?
And there are stories like that where someone has this kind of
Yeah,
diagnosis.
but I'm not talking about the miracle stories. I'm talking about where everything is flat. The future is flat. You're not going to get better. Because what we do is we feel good when we get the good diagnosis, and we feel bad when we get the bad diagnosis. And this makes us completely a victim of circumstances beyond our control. And you have fought against that attitude your whole life.
Absolutely. Because what is a bad diagnosis? They think an amputation is a bad diagnosis. They think a stage 4 cancer is a bad diagnosis. The truth is, you're alive. And even if the amount of aliveness you have is not going to last very long, you can be alive right up to the last second. And this is healing in a broad sense, that you have life, live it.
Okay. Because when you talk about your hospital, our hospital in West Virginia, where we're trying to raise funds for this hospital, and we want this hospital to happen. It'll be an experiment in exactly that question, which is, if we want to make it a free hospital, yes, but if we want to make it a fun hospital, and accept the fact that there's going to be deaths and there's going to be pain and suffering, how can we make it a fun hospital?
Well, as it is defined as a fun hospital, and as those who work there agree with the philosophy of the hospital, I mean, I love Mary Poppins. In every job that must be done, there's an element of fun. Find the fun and snap, the job's a game. And that would be our task. And I think that with a costume closet and a lot of enthusiasm, performance, and a long enough history of a patient to where you really know them and know their fun parts, this is our job.
Yeah. We are asking you to support this vision. This is not a commercial project at all. This is an experiment in thinking that you could have a fun hospital, that healthcare does not have to be the doom and gloom, and that we can try with Patch Adams to learn together how to make wellness, healing, and sickness and suffering a fun project. Please donate. The information is on our screen. If anyone can show us a way, it would be Patch. And he's an old dude, so we got to get this thing built.